My name is Jason P. Jordan, and that's important because if you Google Jason Jordan, you'll find this WWE wrestler, right? If you read my 2015 #1 international bestseller, you'll understand the importance of personal branding and why you should use your middle initial, right? I'm your go-to global real estate coach is what I have on my monikers and my YouTube channel. I'm the CEO of the Legends International team at eXp Lit. Thank you, guys. Our organization has onboarded agents in over 16 countries since the beginning of 2021. We even have a country leader in our organization, which is really cool when that happens. And one of the most recent successes that I'd like to share is I officially became an eXp Germany agent this last week. When I relocated to Germany, my wife works for the U.S. Department of Defense. And so I'm very proud to represent Germany as its only agent here this year, but I promise you it will change next year. So before we introduce our panelists, I want to kind of let you understand how we're going to work this today. So this is going to be an interactive panel where the top leaders up here are going to exchange their proven strategies. We're going to talk about how to tackle challenges and also share innovative ideas. We're going to do rapid fire success stories. And then we're going to talk a little bit and hopefully have time at the end to take some questions and answers if that's okay. So I'm going to hand the mic over to Carly and I'm going to have her introduce herself and then we'll just rapid fire across, okay?
Hello, I am Carly Maddox. He talked about the importance of putting the middle initial in. I will talk about the importance of not hyphenating your name. Very long. I am the head of our international transactions and compliance. I've been with eXp for almost 8 years. I came on as an agent first. My wife, who is back there, we are a domestic team, and we are, 5-time icon agents. And yes, it's all under her name, though, because she's the primary.
You know the boss.
Yeah, that's right. But I oversee all of the transactions in our almost 30 international markets. So if you have any issues, sadly, I'm the one that you come to, or my team. But Lee, put your head down. We got troublemakers in the audience already. Awesome. But that is me. I'm going to pass it on over to Lizna.
Lizna from South Africa.
Thank you so much, Carly. You've been amazing on the transaction. So don't give her grief. So my name is Lizna now. I am from Cape Town, South Africa, the place where you will be in February 2026, right?
Yeah, let's go.
Obviously, there's safaris and everything else going on, so do not just plan for a couple of days. We've got luxury events and loads of things that's going to happen. I have been with eXp actually this month on the 18th of October. I got a little company alert to say I've been 4 years in the making in eXp, and I cannot believe that I can get up every morning and get more excited about the fact that I'm at eXp. Normally the excitement's in the beginning and then it wears down. So the fact that I can keep on getting more excited is amazing. I have got the huge privilege of being the chairperson for the International AAC. And I am passionate about all of the countries for us to grow as strong as we possibly can within eXp. And therefore, this collaboration is just an honor to be part of. Thank you.
Awesome. Natalie, mi hermana, as she likes to say.
Jason and I are twins, separated at birth, but I think when I met Jason last year, it has been a year. And we connected like, oh my God, you think international too? And we were like, it felt so lonely for a bit in the international space. And now that it's getting more popular, I'm super excited to be working. Like we had like 4 years ahead that we've been doing research. So my name is Natalie. I'm with Unicorn Properties and this is my team right here. I'm super excited. It's been growing really fast. And I think to introduce myself, I'm Peruvian. Everybody thinks I'm Mexican because I spent a lot of time in Mexico. So I'm going to be Mexican soon, hopefully too. But my whole focus has been like I joined eXp because of the international experience. So I became an agent to be able to join eXp. I wasn't an agent before. But because of the business model and everything else, my background is in marketing and tech. I was like, how can I repurpose my skills into the real estate space? And that's what I bring to the table. Most of my team is don't know, be there, but be in the computer all day, and we be like that center of operations for everybody to land their planes. And I think that has been helping us grow because sometimes they ask you for everything for every single country, and it can get really overwhelming. But if you have any questions, I'm usually Jason. I have a dictionary where you can find things for international.
Exactly.
Who they can contact for international. But yeah, we cover. I'm in Chicago based, so US based. But I moved to Mexico 4 years ago, so I spent 6 months in each market to be able to serve our clients and be able to experience international fully from the ground. Because one thing is learning it on the book, and the other thing is practicing. And we've gone through so much, hurdles and understandings and learnings because of that.
All right, Alex, from the country next door from me, your agent in Paris, as he likes to remind everybody. So, Alex.
Bonjour à tout le monde. We speak English, of course, don't worry. I will try to express myself correctly, even though my wife is American sometimes. I can't find my words, but you will excuse me, of course. I was born last century. I won't tell you when then exactly. But last century, believe it or not. I have been a French real estate agent for 5 years now. Before that, I had a long career in communications. I was the head of communications and digital marketing for 11 companies, a startup, non-profit organization. And I was very demanding. And one day I decided to be my own boss. I was fed up about having a boss above me, I wanted to be independent. So I decided to be a real estate agent. And I chose eXp because I read an article in the economic press in Les Echos. I don't know if you remember Samuel. I called Samuel. I called 5 or 6 other eXp agents. And I found out that was the right place to be. And 5 years later, I'm still here. And I have the chance and the honor to be an ambassador for France. So IAAC. And it's a great pleasure. I hope I will tell you nice stuff today. And at the end, we may have a French discussion, a French lesson. I used to be a French tutor because I lived in Cambridge near Boston, and I was French tutor. So for the one who wants, it will be only $500 for 1 per minute. I need money, and French. And I want my pleasure to see you in July at eXpCon in Paris.
Merci, Alex. So in addition to the leaders you see up here, this room is filled with talent. And so at the end of today's meetup, make sure that you network with the people that are in this room. They're here because they either have experience growing internationally or they want to. So not just the people in front of you, but there's a lot of people in this room. We don't have enough time to name everybody. So let's go back to you, Alex. What is one way international business has changed your career?
I love to do property huntings. I love to search for properties for our clients. And once upon a time, I saw a post on Workplace. We know the thing we were using a few months ago. Slack is great. I know.
Really? Let's take a survey.
I heard the lady yesterday was saying, I don't like Slack. Don't repeat. And I saw a post from an American agent from Texas. She's not in the business anymore, but she said, hey guys, I'm looking for a real estate agent. I have clients who want to buy a pied-à-terre in Paris. So you have to know that a pied-à-terre for American people, it's 100 square feet, 100 mètres carrés. For French people, a pied-à-terre is 40 square feet. So we don't have the same sensation of space. Anyway, they were looking for a pied-à-terre. So, but we didn't have the global referral platform at that time. And that was more complicated. We had to fill in a form, to send it, to generate a PDF. And the first thing I did was to talk with this agent about, did you explain to your client how it works about finding a properties in France? Because this is way more complicated than in US. You guys are very lucky, the one who really work in US, because in 1 month you can buy a house, you can have the keys. After the home inspection, of course. But in France, it's totally different. I will explain you this maybe later. And so I had to discuss with this agent in order to be sure that our clients were aware of what would happen. And we had to talk also about money, about the fees, about my commission, because it doesn't work the same way in USA than in France. In USA, if I understood well, you have 6%, 3% for the buyer's agent and 3% for the seller's agent. In France, you have between 4 and 6%, depending on which city, which region you are. And this is for the seller's agent. For the agent who is looking for an apartment, a unit, a condo, or a house, there is no way to have money. So you have to ask the clients to pay for you as a hunter, except if the other agents accept to split his commission. But that's not always the case. So there was a lot of explanation to give to the other agent. That's what I did. And after 3 months, I managed to find a nice condo in Paris, so a nice pied-à-terre of 101 square feet. Nearby the Eiffel Tower, that was a nice view. And my clients were kind of difficult. The guy was a lawyer in urbanism. So he was very demanding. And this is very important. He was happy to buy a unit because at that time the dollar was stronger than the euro. But by the time we arrived at the end of the budget, just 2 weeks before signing the final contract, the euro was up. So that was not the same story for him. So he was not happy about that because his budget was lower. And so it's another key point that you have to pay attention. So, but at that time, that was more difficult to do business with other agents because we didn't have the global referral platform. It's a nice transition, Jason, right?
Exactly.
I'm sure that someone would be talk about the global referral platform.
Exactly. So who in here knows what the global referral platform is? Raise your hand. Okay. This is really important to do this right. So I'm going to have Carly talk about what it is and how and why you should optimize your global referral platform, even if you're a U.S. agent and you've never done or received an international referral. Carly?
So that was not a lot of hands. That makes me very sad. We got the referral platform first on the U.S. side, and it was originally just U.S. to U.S. agents. And on the global side, it was very difficult to do international referrals. It was a very manual process, and I was like, okay, no, we are going to bring this international. It is my baby. It is my love child. I spent 2 years of my life helping create this. And it is, if you go to your Okta, it's in there, it'll say, your global referral platform. It has every single one of our agents from every country in there. Beef up your profile. Okay. So we don't have, right now we don't have Workplace anymore to go on and look. So this is your opportunity to network yourself, right? And to market yourself. So beef up your profile, put what languages do you speak, what areas you are, put your social media handles in there. Because as an agent myself, right, when I go in, I am looking for people's profiles. I want to read about them. And if you're interested in connecting globally and growing your business globally, follow those people, message them, learn about how they do real estate in their country, and partner with them. But this is our platform that you can send the referral to anybody across our entire, I don't know, what do we have, 90,000 agents, right? And it's all done electronically. So you sign it, then the other agent signs it, then your country leader signs it, their managing broker signs it, and everybody gets an email with a nice, pretty package with the completed referral. And then we do have so many enhancements coming by the end of this year that I will talk a little bit about if we have time at the end. But this right now is your source of everything, right? Like you have got to use this to market yourself, to grow, if you're not utilizing this platform, you are not doing yourself service. So please go in and use it. We have tutorials on it. We have a toolkit for it that shows you how to do it, how to market it, anything like that. So if you are wanting to use this as something like as leverage to bring on other agents, we have a toolkit for it that you can use for marketing. So please, it's all on your agent center as well. Please, please, please use it. That's all.
Think of it as SEO for your referrals. So those of you who have SEO for your website, you need to SEO your profile. Barbara Warren, sitting here in the front row, received a hotel in the Dominican Republic from a French agent because she SEO'd her profile properly because she speaks French. Could you imagine being sent a hotel to sell in your country, right? So you need to make sure you have this set up. So Lizna, I know that you've turned LinkedIn into a global referral generator. So tell us a little bit about that.
Thanks, Jason. Yes. So can I see who uses their LinkedIn? Oh, this is impressive. Okay, because what I do find is a lot of people use it as a resume because that's what it initially was designed for. But you should see your LinkedIn profile as an opportunity to get leads in, which you can use on the global referral platform. Now, that could be buyer leads, seller leads, or even agent attracting leads. I'm going to give you 3 tips on LinkedIn that if you use those tips, those are the things that the platform likes. So the first thing that you need to know about the platform is that it likes you to be specific. So when I say that it likes you to be specific, we wear so many hats, and with eXp even more, because then we're a seller's agent, and then we're a buyer's agent, and then we're a team leader, and then we're an agent attractor, and then we're working in our local area and we're working internationally. That's a lot of things happening. So what you want to do for LinkedIn is you want to decide, what is this profile going to service for me? And you have to pick one hat that you put on, especially when you start utilizing it for leads. So you decide it's going to be for sellers, it's going to be for buyers, it's going to be nationally, it's going to be internationally. It is going to be for agent attraction. So once you've decided that, everything that you do in that profile needs to speak to that specific avatar that you have chosen to be your ideal lead. So every post that you do, you can't put all of the other hats on, you have to only put that hat on. The next thing you have to keep in mind of why LinkedIn is so different than your other platforms is the fact that your profile of client on LinkedIn, over 80% of them are decision makers in business. Those are people that own properties, that's got the right to buy properties, that's got the right to make decisions on behalf of clients to buy properties. So the profile is very different than someone dancing or posting their food on other social media platforms. The age group's different, the demographic is different, and you have to keep that in mind for the type of posts that you do on your LinkedIn profile. And then the third tip I'm going to give you is that LinkedIn really likes you to be involved. So with the billions of people using LinkedIn as their resume that is lying there, only just over 1% are active engagers on LinkedIn. Active engagers mean you are spending 10 minutes. I like to call this my 10 minutes in bed on LinkedIn. 10 minutes a day on LinkedIn where you are not posting, but you are looking for other people, you are connecting with people, you are commenting on their post, you engaging in conversation, and it really just needs to take you 10 minutes. And in those 10 minutes, you cannot use the shortcuts that AI gives you. Okay, and it gives you like 3 words or 2 words saying, fantastic, that's awesome. If you want to use those, then type onto it. Okay, you have to have at least 5 words in a sentence for you to rank higher in that engagement. Now, there is so many things that they like on LinkedIn and that they don't like on LinkedIn. I wish I had lots of time to share more of that. But what I am going to say is if you can find me on LinkedIn, so it's Lizna Nell, and you connect with me and post the word to me or just say to me series, then I will invite you in my 3-series masterclass that I do. It's complimentary, and I teach you in those 3 series everything that you can go and identify. What are you going to use your profile for? Very good content ideas for your profile so that you can run with it in the specific area and avatar that you've chosen for yourself.
That was like a masterclass, Lizna. Thank you so much. I've been using LinkedIn for a long time. A massive platform. I built most of my organization at eXp through it. So if you're not using it, what are you doing, right? Natalie, you took online visibility in real estate, trying to do things internationally. You made it real. Tell us a little bit about this thing called Real Estate Tours Worldwide and what you have coming up next.
Yeah, for sure. So when I was doing market research in different countries, I usually spend about 4 to 6 weeks to just really go in there and not just go in and out like a tourist. We just go and stay talk to the agents. We connect with other, from eXp that we don't have to be the same group. But because of that, I kind of saw the need of connecting not only on the agent attraction, but also on the lead generation and sales. Because without that, our agents, we don't sell, we don't eat. So because of that, I think we were kind of just merging there's a gap, between the communication, how we sell to Americans, how we sell to Canadians. Our primary market are Americans and Canadians into the Caribbean, which is Mexico in the East Coast. And then we create all the content education, and then what's next? So we're like, okay, let's bring people, like a tour. This is not a new concept. It's been going on for years. Many developers do it. But is that they call it fly and buy. In this case, this is not a fly and buy. It's more like just join us for this tour physically there in person. So you can get a feel of the look and the feel of the location, see the neighborhoods. So we'll call it like an open house of the, and a whole area. So you get to see, go in depth of what's the community like, what's a near grocery store, where do you go shopping? Do you feel like safer here or in a gated community, in a golf community? And then you get to see and experience everything firsthand. So we're connecting with other agents that are international that would like to do this. So I think we have a tool right now of all of us here. We started last year. So it's been only a year. It's a pilot. I put it together myself, just testing things. And then it works. It's working. We're going to do one with Barbara in Dominican Republic.
What's the dates on that one?
December 4th to 8th. Yes. So December 4th to 8th, you can come to the Caribbean in Dominican Republic, or you can join us in Mexico. We're going to do Riviera Maya for 4 days, Cozumel for 2 days, which is an island, and Merida for another 4 days. So they have a small ticket amount so can cover the cost, but it's not $6,000 as some tours are like insanely priced. And if you're just curious to learn a place from an agent perspective or a buyer perspective, you can also send your leads over and they'll be tagged with your referral name so we can get back to you on the referral, even if you cannot make it. We encourage all the agents to come at least to visit at least the location once if you want to be a referring partner, so you know what you're talking about with your client back at home, and you can explain from a place of experience instead of like, I read somewhere, I'm resharing a post online, which you shouldn't do that unless you really verify the developers. And because of the risk of the developers all around the world, it's less regulated of the market. We have to be super mindful what we present to our clients and that we have the homework. And we work with Manuel all the way in the back too in Riviera Maya. So we had to put a list of curated inventory. So we have to be super mindful that we don't share everything with everybody. It's more like, this is at the niche of developers we've vetted. We know it's valid. We're going to put our hands on fire for anybody, of course, but at least there's a disclaimer there. We did most of our due diligence ahead of time, and that's what you're going to see in the tours.
So the interesting thing is, because all of you are going to all the international eXp cons this next year, there is a real estate tour that Natalie is co-hosting in every single one of the countries where there will be an eXp con. So there's going to be one for South Africa before the event. There will be one in Paris before the event. And then last year they did one in Portugal, the country right next door to Spain. So if you want to learn more about the next real estate tour, so it's realestatetours.org/DR, like Dominican Republic, realestatetours.org/DR. To learn more about that and all the upcoming ones. This is awesome. This is like collaboration, right? How do you work with other agents in the company to build opportunities, not only for yourself, but for others in the company? Now, I think it's important to understand, how do you get paid? Okay, so when you have a transaction that closes in another country, how does that work? Is it just magic, Carly? Or how does that process exactly work? And do I have to pay any fees as an agent if I close something outside of the country that I'm in?
So, obviously, every country is different, right? The way you get paid is different. And key touch base on the fact that in the U.S., we can close a house in 30 to 45 days. That's not the case typically in most other countries. So patience, one. Two, we put it in our systems. You put it in your system. We put it in our system on each side. And then we connect them together kind of on the back end. Something, again, if you're from the U.S., you will find very different is that in every other country, the agent has to invoice us, whereas in the U.S., we send a CDA to the closing attorney, and that's it. So then we'll close it, and if there's an intermediary bank, that's usually where the funds are, what's the word I'm trying to say? Converted? Converted, yes. You'll never pay a fee. We cover all of the fees. There was a time in the past where we did not, but moving forward about 6 months ago, eXp started covering all the fees. So any fees that were associated with, wire transfer fees or conversion fees, things like that, eXp is now paying for that. So it won't come out of your portion. Yes. And we now have a designated team on the U.S. side and international side that handle these international referrals. So they are trained specifically on them. They communicate with each other so that your process is really smooth and clean. We've collaborated with a lot of agents in this room on the process and the issues that they were having. And so I promise you, we listen to everything that you say, and it might not come immediately, but we do make sure it gets done. So yes.
It's a beta.
It's in beta. It's in beta. It's in beta. That's how Lizna says it, and that's how I'm saying it always now.
And we just had our first referral from Peru to Boston. So now we're going to be experience that.
Lizna, let's talk about, what is, it's the chair of the IAAC and as an icon agent, so you do a lot of business. Talk about why the IAAC and your country AAC, so Agent Advisory Council, for those of you that don't know what that stands for, why it's important, and how does it work or benefit agents in our international countries?
Thanks, Jason. So obviously, we all love eXp because of the way that Glenn does things and the way that he sees it, which is the agents are the kings and queens of this business. And with the AACs, both the local ones, that is in every country. So if there is not one in your country, I urge you to reach out to me so that I can communicate with Global and we can get that set up, even if it's very small to start off with. But the whole idea of an AAC is that it is the voice of the agents. Every country is different. We realize that, and there is a lot of small, intricate things that only you know because of your industry and your experience in your industry. And we want to know about that. We want you to experience everything at its best as an eXp agent in your country. So having that AAC member means that on the international AAC, so there could be several members in country. I've been on the South African one, so we call it SARC, the South African Agent Advisory Council, for the past 3 years. And the amount of things that we have course corrected in SARC has been nothing short of amazing. Andrew, our country leader, would sometimes sit in on a meeting. He'll hear that we're talking about maybe an additional software, something else that we are paying for on the side because we need that to perform better. And he would immediately start negotiating with the parties in country to bring that on for us so that we can have the best that we can within eXp. So the whole idea for the AAC is to be the voice of the agents that is on the ground. You cannot speak for yourself specifically. You have to speak for your country, for your area, and you have to make sure that everything that you bring to the table is something that is going to be in the best interest of every single agent in that area. So that it also pulls more agents to you, to your organization, and for future growth in eXp. The international AAC, we have country representatives. So one person that is on their local AAC will then come to the international AAC table. We meet online in the world once a month, and we share everything. We share things with regards to transactions. We share things that could help us with marketing. We share vision of how we can grow international bigger and stronger, which I'm going to take this opportunity, Jason, just to tell you, I know you all have the eXp event app, right? And that's how you found us here today. And at the bottom of that app is a little survey. And I want you to go say that this was awesome so that we can have more international things. We can have more international things when we come to eXpCon so that we can collaborate more. And that is the whole idea of the international AAC and the in-country AACs, is for us to collaborate, for us to learn from one another and to make all of the countries stronger.
Awesome. Thank you, Lizna. So I want to go over to you, Alex. We're a big WhatsApp group. Who's in this big WhatsApp group called eXpCon Miami, right? There's about 650 of you in there now. That was created, actually, it was a brainchild of Natalie and Lisa, and then they pulled me into it early on. And one person who really started off really well promoting himself internationally was Alex. So, Alex, talk a little bit about maybe the first things you did to kind of start promoting yourself internationally.
It's a bit different. Because, believe it or not, there's an international competition between us. I'm not the only French agent, we are 770 now, people. But speaking of this WhatsApp group about eXpCon, I don't know if you remember, I made my picture, there was a text, I won't be on strike, so I will be here at Miami, because French people always are on strike, we always complain. That's what you think about us. And so, yeah, really being different. But the most important, I think, is to interact with others. So through our place, or with Slack, or doing Facebook groups, don't hesitate. Feel free to answer to the question. A lot of agents ask, how does it work? I don't understand. Spend your time answering, give some advices. I remember when I first joined eXp, I was spending a lot of time on workplace, and my sponsor, I told my sponsor, his name was Khalid. Khalid, I think I'm procrastinating. I'm spending too much time to respond to interacting on workplace. He told me, no, Alex, you will see. In a few months, in a few years, you will have referrals because people will remind you. They will know who you are. And they will be happy that you were helping them. So, but there's another way to interact and to be and to have referrals. It's to do what we are doing right now. It's to attend to eXpCon Miami, Salt Lake City soon, South Africa, Paris. You need to come to Paris. If you don't come to Paris, I won't talk to you anymore.
And let's not forget Vancouver for our community. That's right. And Vancouver.
And because we have a lot of tools to interact and through internet or video avatar, but the best of all is to interact. We are human beings, right? We are born to talk with people. And so it's good news for you. You have to travel if you want to do business. If you want to. And there's one sentence that I like. It's building relationship equals growing business on the long term. So you just need to interact and to be different, because so many people post, I will be in Miami. Okay, what else? You will be in Miami, but who are you? Are you a good agent? Are you highly professional? And I may not remember you because 100 people post, I will be on Miami, with the same picture, with the avatar. That's nice to see, but I may not remember you. And I like to be different, and everybody is. We don't have to copy the other one, because I am not Natalie, I'm not Lizna, obviously, you can see, but I can be inspired by what you say, but I have to adapt my communication to who I am, and we spoke a lot about that in the general session this morning. So these are a few tips. I have a suggestion for you. On the global referral platform, we could have a section where we explain the how to buy, how to sell in every single country.
Well, that is one of the things that we are adding by the end of this year.
Perfect.
Really quick, I'll say we're adding that. So you'll be able to click on a country and get a blurb kind of how real estate happens in that country. And then we'll be adding rankings. So kind of like a 5-star system. So if we will review it before, kind of like Airbnb, they review it before it can go up. But if you had a great interaction with another agent, you can rate them and leave comments. We will also be adding some production in there. And then if you've ever used the My Link, My Lead, right now, if you go in there, you only see the U.S. listings. But as Felix showed yesterday or the day before, we now have Livy, not sure how we pronounce it, but it has all of our international referrals, listings. So those will be going in there as well. So you'll be able to see all of our listings across all of our platforms, across all of our countries.
Thank you. So I have a laundry list of other things to cover here, but we got about 10 minutes left of our allotted time. So I just want to see kind of in the crowd, the show of hands. Would you guys like to maybe spend some time here at the end to do some Q&A? Or do you want us to just kind of go through with our plan here with the questions that we have. Who would like to have an opportunity to answer or ask a question? Okay. We got a couple people. Okay, so real quick, Natalie, I'm going to come to you to this next question. I want to mention co-sponsoring, and then I'll leave our last 5 minutes for Q&A. So, Natalie, you helped kind of spearhead and some things on the back end for Peru, and also grew and put some new agents in Peru when it opened. So, talk a little bit about what your strategies or what you did to kind of position yourself from that and why you did that.
For sure. So I think for us has been very important since we're US based. We're purpose international because we have so many resources. And if you're not using them, at least talk about them because that will distinguish you from every single broker that is in the US, that is local to the US. So to us, it's been our pitch. Hey, do international, talk about what we can do different than the others, like you were saying, just be different. Otherwise, we're just like, so many brokerages that are trying to be eXp, but they can't. But the international piece, they don't have. So if you want to pitch, you start with that. And then that has been bringing us a lot of attention, for our community of Ecuador when they open, or Peruvian in Chicago. So then we're looking for that community. And then guess what? They have realtors in the community that are in the US, then Ecuadorian background or Peruvian background, and that's what we start the conversations. Hey, we just open in your country, or your family is from there, right? So we always start with people who speak a different language, or they're a different ethnicity. They can be from any country that we're in. So that has kind of bring us some attention to have the conversation with those brokers in the U.S. about, let's say, Peru. And when it was opening, it's very interesting to see, that people were waiting for eXp. They already knew about it. They were like, we have bad experiences with this because we have splits that are crazy. So the agents are waiting for it locally for eXp because eXp kind of, the reputation precedes. So just leverage that because it's already there. Might as well use it. And you have the tools, like all of us have the same tools. So we don't have anything that you don't have. So just repurpose that. And that has been like the, back and forth.
Awesome, Natalie. So I would also say make sure that you get to know the country leaders very well and the staff. But most importantly, leverage co-sponsoring. So everybody that's sitting up here can co-sponsor. You have many people in the audience that can co-sponsor. People that understand that market, speak those languages. Don't just go running into a market. There's so many things that you don't know. And that's the most dangerous thing about business. It's the things you don't know, right? So leverage co-sponsoring to help you grow internationally, right? Wish we would have had that opportunity back in 2021, right? That would have been a lot easier. So before we jump into Q&A, also you have an opportunity to grow globally with commercial. So don't forget about that. Commercial can be done in every country outside the United States and Canada. There's no official eXp commercial outside the US and Canada other than now the UK. Rob Jones, head of eXp Commercial UK. A couple quick announcements. So again, South Africa, eXpCon Cape Town, February 17th through the 19th. Then is Paris, France, July 15th through the 17th. Vancouver, Canada, April 20th through the 22nd. And Salt Lake City, October 7th through the 9th. So those are those upcoming eXp cons. Those are going to be some of the biggest opportunities to find people to work with. So go to events. So Alex, if you would just kind of come out to the crowd here with your microphone. And if there's somebody that has a question, then Michael or Alex will bring the
I'd love to do that.
the microphone. Carter?
I want to really quick. They did also announce yesterday the discount code if you register for multiple of them. If you come to the international booth, you can register. We have the discount code, and if you register for Cape Town, we have these awesome bags. I don't know how to pronounce them. Andrew, if you're in here, they came from South Africa. And if you register for Paris, he's got us. If you register for Paris, we flew them all the way in from Paris. They have these adorable little baguette making kits. So come to the international booth and register with your discount.
And last year I've registered and I got my Barcelona ticket I felt like I stole it, right? So this is the place to register and make sure you take advantage of those bundle packages, right? So who has, we have a question over here from our friend I met earlier. It's in Korea. So go ahead.
Yes, sir. So the platform you were mentioning about 5-7 minutes ago, and I know you said it's a work in progress. So I, as obviously not ethnic Korean, going to eXp Korea, would that platform also show not just reviews and listings, but other people under that tree? Besides just in this case, the Korean ambassador, would it just show him or would it show the tree of other agents?
Oh no, it'll show all of the agents. So
Okay.
it has all of our agents across every country, every city, state, anywhere. So yes, if you're an agent in Korea, you will be on there. So that's what I'm saying. Log in, beef up your platform, your profile, add anything, any languages you speak, areas you cover, how long you've been in the business, anything unique to yourself.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we have another question right across when we just passed the microphone over there.
My dear William from Quebec.
So I have a question because I used that platform early this year, and so I searched the realtor on Instagram. So in the future, do you know if we can like link or Instagram with our profile? Because that made me choose that realtor in Italy because I don't know them because I just see their name. So
Absolutely. So on your profile, you can put all of your handles for all of your social media. That is a good idea to have it where they can click on it and link it straight there. I will add that to our list. But yes, you can put all of your social media handles on there.
That was a great request, right? Put your socials. Okay, go ahead in the back.
Yeah, so I had a question partly piggybacking on the commercial. I see Daniel Ang over here as well, and with the commercial UK. I know that one of the big things people look for is the people speaking the same language, but I feel like they do a disservice to their clients sometimes when they don't really go commercial. So how are you communicating that through the platform?
Get a lot of questions.
I know.
Glad you're here.
So you can select on the platform whether it's residential or commercial. Also, when you're setting up your profile, there's a whole list of things that you can select that you do. So if you handle commercial, select commercial. If you handle residential, land, ranch, all of those kind of things, whatever you handle, you select on there. And then when you search if you search commercial, then those agents that have that selected will pull up.
So here's a ChatGPT prompt. As the mic comes around, I want you to learn. If you're not audio recording this panel, you're losing out because you could be transcribing what I'm about to say. Then you wouldn't have to write the prompt. So the prompt would be, you are a world-class SEO expert that helps people write their bios to be optimized for referral platforms, right? And then you write it, and then you have it now kick it out based upon SEO tactics, because the platform will be SEO, right? And so as people search, you need to have those right terms in there, right? And so I'm sure, Carly, you're going to have all kinds of training to talk about that as well, right? Okay. So we have a question up here in the front.
Yeah, I would like to know. I know eXp is not in Guatemala. So, how you say if there is not, we can go to you and you can go talk with her. So how that can work? Because I would like to.
Okay, so there's a process for that. Okay, so eXp Realty.international. Okay, that's a website you want to know. And that actually, everything you want to know about international is on that website. And then there's this place on that website where you can actually fill in a form to recommend a country, right? And you fill in that form and be as detailed as possible. And you need to be able to list there somebody that you have a contact with that actually has the skills and the ability to open that country, right? So we have several countries in process that we've been working on. There's actually a couple people in the room that we did that with them, right? And so they have a brokers independently that they run, many agents. We've actually looked at all of their numbers. There's a whole process that you have to go through. And Felix always reminds me it takes 3 to 4 months minimum to open a country. And typically it's like $1 million to set up the infrastructure to do that, right? So that's your first step, exprealty.international, fill out that form, and then you need to be able to provide the context of why you think it should be launched, right? All the data, be as detailed as possible. Does that answer your question? Yeah. Okay. And Felix told me, by the way, no more new countries until December. That's when they're going to start looking at them again. I'll pass it to Carly.
Yeah, we need a break. Also, we used to have the referral chat group on Workplace Chat, and I know we do have one now on Slack. So if you're not on that, also join it. That's how you can get leads. And also, if you do have someone who wants to buy in Guatemala, but we don't have an agent there yet, you can put in there, does anybody know an agent in Guatemala? And then you can connect with them. And then that's also a way to connect with someone else new.
I have all my family, my cousins are real estate agents, central to one, other company.
So Rodolfo Bay back there, he's an agent in Spain, but he lives a large portion of the year in Guatemala, and he's an agent in Guatemala too. So he can help you close that business, and he will close it through eXp as well through Spain, right? And so it gets paid out. I know, Carly, that we've closed transactions in other countries where there's not even an eXp yet. And so we have the ability to do that too.
Hi, I'm Lauren Cohen, and I just want to kind of, I have to be the lawyer. So all of this is really, really exciting. But what's super important in all of what you're doing is making sure that you have the right partners, whether it's through your partners in those countries or through other partners, to find the right attorneys and tax teams, because a lot of people tend to extend beyond being a realtor and play lawyer. And you can get in a lot of trouble for that, especially when you're looking outside of your own country. I'm here as a resource if you ever want. I'm Lauren Cohen. I am on whatever it is that we're using now. I don't even know.
The HUD.
There you go. And I've been around for a while. Je parle français. And go Jays again. All right. Thank you.
If you want some tips, if you want to know how to buy a house or a unit in France or on the French Riviera, by the way, Isabelle, could you stand up, please? She's a French agent. She's the one if you are looking for a property on French Riviera. So I did publish a webpage on my website, where I explain in 8 steps how it works to buy a unit, a house in my country. You just need to come and see me and to take a picture of this QR code. All right?
Jason, I've got one request while we've got this international room.
Go ahead.
If anyone wants to be on an episode where you can explain how a transaction works in your country, we are running this in 2026. So please reach out to me. We are picking all of these exposures for the different countries, and those little episodes can link in very nicely with the global referral platform so that we know how does a transaction run in your country. Thank you.
With that, I think I want to piggyback on that. I want to have you guys presenting our goal. We have a Thursday call every morning that we have showcased many countries and many of our partners here that explain just that, the buying process from their perspective, because they're locally there, and they will tell you everything they know and what you should do and what you shouldn't do, because as Lauren said, you're getting more risk by what you don't know, and you pretend to know it, and then fuck up your plan.
So we're out of time. Thank you guys for coming. Hey, we're going to stick around here, and if you want to ask questions as well, if you have time and network, thank you guys for coming.